time now for our daily press review. And Nick Rushworth is here with me this morning for a look at the French front pages. And Nick, events in Brussels and London dominating the press today.
Well, usually, Hala, we have those French politics that dominating the Monday papers, the Républicain versus the Socialists. But what have we got this time? We've got David Cameron and that whole Brexit question. Let's go to L'Opinion straight away, the front page, which says that this referendum due on the 23rd of June is raising many dangers. There you can see le referendum de tous les dangers. And it says that David Cameron, no sooner back from Brussels with a deal on reforms designed to appease the UK, is faced with spectacular defections within his own camp. The paper says Cameron will have to show much skill and talent to convince the Eurosceptic Brits.
The cartoon on that front page is also conveying what a lot of French are thinking about the events just now, isn't it?
Well, we just saw that cartoon. We can go to it again, which is showing, if we look at it closely, Angela Merkel, François Hollande and Jean-Claude Juncker, the EU Commission President, in an EU rowboat. And Cameron saying, it's great franglais, actually, Hallie. If you want me to stay a little more effort, please, my friends. So, of course, that whole image of Cameron drinking a cocktail and taking life easy on the EU boat, Haller, is just not at all what you and I see the situation as at the moment, because he's sweating, isn't he, about that whole Europe question, which has long been the bugbear of the Tory party in the UK.
It's the third rail of politics for the Tory party, isn't it? Well, in Libération too, we're seeing a similar sort of perspective, aren't we?
Libération has a view from London with its columnist from the British capital saying Cameron has 4 months to convince. There you can see the cartoon depiction of him looking very disturbed. And that piece actually talks about the psychodrama continuing. Of course, Cameron did get his much desired special status for the UK, only to return to 10 Downing Street and have Boris Johnson, the London mayor, steal all his thunder, saying he would campaign for a Brexit. Now, Libération, its take is it's just totally paradoxical that ministers for Cameron in his cabinet are deciding who they campaign for. It just doesn't. It's just not comprehensible for the French columnist there. Let's go to Le Figaro, which has a fascinating piece. I love this piece, actually, because it really talks about the whole history of Europe. Look at the headline there. 6 days to create the world. God took him 6 days to create planet Earth, but it took 6 centuries to build Europe, the Europe we see today. And what is happening with a possible Brexit is that Europe that we see today being undone. The work in progress slogan that hangs over the whole EU project is still there, but the Brits don't see that. Now, of course, that piece there saying we've got 4 major crises in Europe right now. We've got the relations with Greece and the whole Eurozone problem. We've got the migrant question, the massive influx. We've got the terror threat, and then Britain's place in the whole of the EU. And what is Europe doing? It is not responding sufficiently well to the whole crisis. So Le Figaro in this piece saying Europe has a historical drama here. It's 6 centuries old. It cannot mature into an organised series of countries which can actually get things done. So a fascinating piece, one I enjoyed.
Let's move on to another story, Nick. This is something that's certainly making headlines across the French press. Commemorations for the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Verdun.
Well, this, of course, ties into the previous subject, doesn't it? If you talk about European history, then the Battle of Verdun is one of the low points in terms of relations between European countries, France and Germany specifically. Here, Le Monde talking about the battle and the mythical role it's taken in the French psyche. It's saying 300,000 soldiers died, 400,000 injured, just to gain a small amount of territory. It is the war in its totality, a total war and an absurd war, which it says is carved now, engraved in the national memory. It has a place apart. Let's go to Libération, which is reporting that the 100th anniversary commemorations for this battle are taking place on Twitter with live tweets. We're talking about, 100 years ago, the 21st and 22nd of February, a battle beginning that lasted 11 months. It was the longest battle of the First World War, and that you can follow history teachers, French history teachers, posting historical documents. I just want to end on a rose in Le Parisien, the Verdun rose, which a local association has decided to name in commemoration of this horrific battle, saying that the blood rose, the scarlet colour there, is not about the rose on any tombs, it's about the rose in a garden that you must grow.
Interesting stuff. Thanks for that, Nick. Nicholas Rushworth with the French Press Reviews. Do stay with us here on Live from Paris. Lots more still to come after this short break.